Well, well. Okay, so we're only like an hour late. Um, and, sometimes things are not in our control. Um, so I am so sorry to be so late, but if you saw that post that I made earlier about 3 o'clock, my power just completely went out. And the nice folks from the power company, came out right away. Apparently, a switch went bad in my neighborhood, so half of my neighborhood was out of power and the other half wasn't. So it was, and then we had to wait for the cable guys to fix the cable once the power came back on. So it's I'm very happy to be back with you. I'm sorry to be so late. Thank you for sharing. And I we will do our best today. It is the holiday season officially, right? We've had Thanksgiving. I hope you all had a magnificent Thanksgiving, and that all is well with you. And I want to. What else do I want to say? I do want to say that right now, because we had the new moon was Wednesday and Thanksgiving was Thursday. So with that came a lot of movement from Mercury and Jupiter. And so Mercury, we know, is about communication and technical snafus. Now, it's not in retrograde, anything like that, thank goodness. But Mercury is, so we are now into the sign of Sagittarius, right? We moved in on the Ireland, cool. We moved in from the time of the 20th, 21st, 22nd. We moved into the sign of Sagittarius, and so Mercury is actually in Sagittarius, and so this is creating some time of communications, especially as it is regards to relationships, but we also know that Mercury can be very mischievous and powerful with energy and technology. So sometimes we just have the power go out and we say, well, shit. We do the best that we can. But also moving right now is Jupiter. And Jupiter is so big and so massive and so slow. But Jupiter is also about manifestation. And so when we are putting these two things together, imagine like, those scenes in, kid television shows where the hey Gina, where the snowball rolls down the hill and it just picks up everything in its wake and it just creates this like big cavern, or trough of its path as this giant snowball has rolled down the hill. That's kind of like Jupiter. And Jupiter is so big and powerful that as it moves forward, it's picking up everything and propelling it forward. And so when you couple that with Mercury, which is talking about what do you want, what do you really want, and who do you want to have it with, whether it's, relationship that, is a paired relationship or a relationship that is just a business relationship or friend relationship. Maybe there's healing to be done in a friend relationship. All of these things, you start to put Jupiter and Mercury together and you realize that this is the time to communicate what you want, to ask the universe for what you want, and then to tack on to Jupiter, who's going to just move everything out of the way to lead you on the path to your abundance, to your manifestation, to the thing it is that you want. So this is a really amazing time, even if it comes with some technical hiccups. So I think sometimes things just happen, and things, sometimes a rock is just a rock. And I think today just, we've had a lot of storms in the area, and it's possible that the electrical switch on the power line out in front of my neighborhood, got shook in the wind, and then a bird stood on the line, and that was just too much. So I don't really know, but I do I don't necessarily think that there was some higher meaning to the power going out today. Just the fact that it was just crappy timing. So I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to be with you at our regularly scheduled time, because I really was looking forward to it. And I do want to just pull a couple of cards as we are moving now into the heat of the holiday season, right? People get lots of energy going on. There's traveling, there's shopping. There's all kinds of stuff. I do want to say, if you have missed the chance to get my online course, Becoming an Empowered Empath, at $40 off, you can message me and I will still honor it. I will be glad to do that. Also, you can also do, there was also, what was it, 10% off. I think it was 10% off of reading. So if you wanted an individual session, you can let me know that as well. So Catherine, the way it works here, even when we're late, is we're going to do a card reading for the collective, and then at time and energy permitting, we'll do individual cards. So we're going to do a couple of cards for the collective first, and then we'll see where we're at. So all right, so I think we can make that happen today, because it wasn't too much with the channeled information, because I was just running around like, okay, I've got the power, I've got the computer, I've got the internet, let's go. So to try to get to you all as quickly as possible. So I think we'll be okay with that. So our first card is Yang, and of course it comes in upside down. And so we have the yin and the yang, we have the feminine and the masculine, and the yang is the masculine, and so when it comes in upside down, it is a check on or bullishness. It's a check on us to remind us not to be, to push through. And even though I just had said, Jupiter is pushing through for us, this is the reminder to allow Jupiter to move the mountains for us, that we don't have to be the one in there elbowing people out of the way. And so that's good advice this time of the year if you're going to do any shopping anyway too. But this is just a reminder that that we are strong, and that we can work in tandem with the universe. We don't have to be, a bully to get what we want. We want to work in harmony, and when we are creating and co-creating with the universe, it's a much more powerful manifestation. And so as you're going forward, I really would encourage you to sit down and welcome in Jupiter and Mercury energy to say, okay, this is what I want, and now I trust the universe for how to get it. Because one of the things that happens is we feel like we have to figure out, we need to know all the hows. Okay, if this is what I want, then how do I go about it? Okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And when we do that, we block off the energy of the universe. First of all, when we say this is what I want, and it's engaged in this little box, when it doesn't fit in that box, the universe is like, all right, well, whatever. And so we close off the universe, the energy of the universe, and that ability to be more abundant with us. So when we say this is what I want, or something better, we open up that energy for the universe, especially Jupiter, which is so powerful, to be able to move us forward. And the thing that we don't have to worry about is the how. Okay, we often will say in goal setting sessions, we'll say, well, what is one next step? What is one step forward that you can take? Because you've got to be in motion, right? The universe can't move the parked car. But at the same time, we don't have to worry about making a wrong turn in that car, because the universe is going to guide us, and we're going to get where we're supposed to be. And so when we say, this is where I want to go, and this is how I'm going to get there, we are closing off that flow. It's like taking the water hose in your garden and pinching it so the water can't flow. The universe can't get through to have that energy flowing to you to be able to move you forward. And so the how is the thing we have to worry about the least. Well, all we need to do is get clear on what we'd like to create and be loose about the edges so that it's not cut in stone and the universe has to work within our parameters. We want to allow the universe that fluidity to create something more than we can even understand at this point. And so when we have that, we are able to say this or something more, this is what I'd like, this is the direction I'd like to go in, and then to be able to say this is the steps I'm going to take, and then allow the universe to move with you and to allow the universe to carry you along. And so when we have the Yang card, especially in protection, it reminds us that we don't have to be the one in there on the hamster wheel making ourselves crazy. We have to just set the intention and be clear about the direction I want to go. Okay, I know if I want to go to the beach, bad example. I live in Florida, I can go east or west. But I was going to say, I know if I want to go to the beach, I need to go east, because my preferred beach is east, but that's okay. So I'm going to go east. But Trick question. I could go either way. But I got to pick a direction, okay? And then I'm going to, doesn't have to worry so much about what road I'm going to take, because I'm going to tell the GPS in the car, aka the universe, I want to go this way, and they're going to work it out. So we don't have to be like fighting and all of that. So we have that with Yang to remind us that we get to relax. We get to trust that the universe is going to put those next steps in front of us. It's like, if you ever, I can't even think of like what movie, but if you like stepped on the step and it lit up, and then the next one lit up. But what I'm thinking of in my mind, because I'm a Disney girl, is the girl in Brave, Merida, where the wisps are trying to lure her into the forest, and the wisps light up and they take her, one wisp blinks and she follows the wisps, and they go off into the forest and she follows the wisps. And I think that's really where the universe comes in for us, is that the universe lights up and tells us, this is the next right step, and that lights up in front of us. It might not literally light up, but it might. And it allows us to know what the next right step is. All we have to do is put the car in gear. Okay, so we don't have to worry so much. And especially as we're coming into the end of this year, and because we talked before Thanksgiving about spending some time to get clear on your intentions for this year of where do you want to finish, what do you want to start, what do you want to accomplish next, in 2023, where do you want to be this time next year, and allow that to start to develop and percolate in your mind. And so this is the reminder that lays on top of that says, okay, while you're figuring that out of what you'd like to set in motion and accomplish for the next year, just remember, you don't have to butt anybody out of the way. You want to work in tandem with the universe and keep that door open for this or something more to be able to develop for you, and you follow the GPS. We tell the GPS where we want to go, and then we trust that this little thing in our phone is going to get us there. We don't know how. I don't know what road I took. I just followed the little thing on the car, and there it was. So we don't have to worry about the how. We just have to keep taking one step in front of the other. Okay, and so the next card that pulls up is the regeneration card. And this I love, because the regeneration card is all about rebirth. It's about starting the next chapter, which is so fantastic. And so especially as we have Jupiter and Mercury that are working, with heavy, strong energy right now, it's so much about us to say, what do we want, and let Jupiter help carry the ball. And so this is so much this time of regeneration, this time of moving forward, this time of really strong manifestation. This is a time to feel lucky. This is a time to feel joyous and full of gratitude, and trust that the universe is going to help you to birth something new. The person that you were is going to grow into something new. This is what regeneration is about. It's not about burning it down and Phoenix rising from the ashes. I mean, that might happen, and depending on your situation, but it's so much about us becoming and transforming and growing and evolving into something new. But if we don't have any idea what we want to become, or even what direction we want to go in. Sometimes I don't know exactly what beach I want to go to. I just want to go to the beach. I want to go east. Tell me which one is the best one. Where are we going today? Okay, so allowing the universe to co-create with you, with Jupiter in motion. This is a tremendous time for manifestation and co-creation with the universe. And then the last one, it comes in as not for you. And so not for you reminds us to keep our eye on the ball, and reminds us not so much blinders, but not for you reminds us that to stay in our lane. Okay, we don't have to be like this. We don't have to ignore what's going on around us. What we do want to do is resist the temptation to jump into other people's lanes and solve the problem for them. Okay, so we don't have to be because those things are so easily distracting. So when we have set our intention and we set ourselves in motion and we're moving and we put the car in gear and we're going, and then we're like, that person needs help. Okay, but do they? And now I'm saying, if somebody's stuck on the side of the road, maybe they do. But maybe they've already called AAA or a tow truck or whatever, and maybe they don't need help. We don't have to rescue everybody. Our job is to keep moving forward. And I'm not talking about compassion. I'm not talking tomorrow's Giving Tuesday. There are amazing charities out there. The question I ask for any charity is, what percentage of the money that you bring in goes back out into the field? That is an important question. If 30% of their money raised is going to administrative costs, they're not getting my money. This is a sidebar. I apologize. But tomorrow's Giving Tuesday. I'm not talking about compassion. I'm not talking about that. But I am talking about when your friend, says to you and they just need to vent, and you all of a sudden jump into fix-it mode where you're going to fix it and you know exactly what to do, and you're going to roll up your sleeves and you're going to take care of all that stuff for her. Not for you reminds us that we don't have to do that, right? Not for you reminds us that we can stay in alignment with ourselves and stay in our lane. We can still have compassion and prayer and hugs and an open ear and an open heart to listen and support and hold space for those people who need us. That does not mean we need to jump into action to live their life for them, right? We have the 3 questions, right? Is it mine? Is it my question, conundrum, situation, problem, whatever? Do I have the power to fix it? Yes, no, maybe. The important one, did anybody ask me to fix it? Did anybody ask me to fix this problem, situation, or conundrum? Because if it's not yours, whether you know how to fix it or not, if nobody asked you to, then don't. Because that's their journey. And when we jump in and we take that opportunity away from someone, we may be robbing them of the lessons that they needed to learn on their path. And we may be forcing them, you've heard me talk about time looping with Jeremy Bearimy, right? So you may have forced them to loop it back around on a why, to loop it back around because they got sidetracked by our good intentions. And so Not For You reminds you that you don't have to keep blinders on, don't ignore what's going on around you, but also reminds us to stay in our lane, that we don't have to go in and save the world. I love this quote from the Jewish Studies of Pirkei Avot that says, we are not required to fix and complete the task, but neither are we required or are we allowed to ignore it. We are not required to complete the task, but neither are we allowed to ignore it. I think that's pretty close to right. I'm sure it's not 100% right. I'm sure that. But the idea is that it is important for us to know what's going on, but we don't have to save everybody. But we want to stay in our lane and make our impact on the world, to make the world a better place in our lane, in the way that we can operate. But when we jump the lane line and we jump the median and we jump into someone else's lane, we may be robbing them of the opportunity to learn lessons that are important for them. So it's important to have compassion, have awareness of what's going on, but we want to make sure that we are understanding what is ours and what isn't ours. And so asking that question, is this mine? Do I have the power to fix it? And did anybody ask me to fix it? Those are really important questions to help us. This is not to say we don't support and love and hold space for those people. We do when we can, but we don't have to rescue everyone. Okay, we start with ourselves, right? We put the oxygen mask on ourselves first, right? Okay. All right, so that is going to be our card reading for the collective for today, for this week. Just a reminder that this is all about communication with Mercury, getting clear about what you want, and then this time of manifestation and co-creation with the universe for Jupiter in motion that is here to really create things and to help bring things. Jupiter clears the way, it plows the road, right? You say, make a space, and Jupiter parts the crowds for us. So this is a really important time for getting clear about what we want, but we want to make sure we're not closing it off so that we're boxing the universe in, that the universe can only do what we've asked for. We want to keep it open for this or something more. And then we don't worry about how we're going to get there because we all know that Jupiter is out in front of us, plowing the road, making a space. And Jupiter is a fabulous planet. The energy this right now is about luck and co-creation. So this is so important right now that it is about trusting the universe and not worrying about how. I just touched something on my screen and did something bad. Okay, and not worrying about how, right? So we started with our card reading of Yang, reminding us that we don't have to be a bully, we don't have to push in there, we don't have to strive to get what we want. We can co-create with the universe. Regeneration reminds us that we are evolving into something new, especially as we end one year, we move into the new year. We are coming to a place of rebirth, regeneration, evolution, growth, right? It's not about burning it all down, but it is about becoming something new and allowing that evolution to happen and allowing yourself the opportunity to grow, whatever that means for you. And then the last one is about staying in your lane. And about remembering that we offer love, support, compassion, all of those beautiful things, but we stay in our lane. And if there is opportunity or a reason for you to just pull over and get out and go and help that person, then fantastic. But don't feel like you have to save everybody, because we want to allow other people to, some people need to learn to save themselves. Maybe self-reliance is the thing they came here to learn. So we want to make sure that we are using that discernment. So, oh, I'm so glad, Simone. I'm so glad. Okay, now's the time. Are you ready? Now's the time to say, give me a card, right? Now's the time. And all of you all are so lucky because it's a little less crowded today since we're totally in the wrong time. So we'll be able to get everybody real quick. Okay. So, oh, look, we've got our spammer. We're going to ban you. Oliaki to, okay, we're going to ban you. Bye. Okay, so any other spammers that are out there, if you're waiting to post messages to all the people, just know that as soon as we see you, we're going to ban you. And, you know, it's not that we delete you, you're just banned. So if you're going to start posting comments, you might as well just leave now because we're just going to ban you. So, bye. Okay. So we're going to start with, all right, so I do go first come, first serve, but I am going to jump the line for Catherine Johnson from Ireland because she was on, she just happened to be on early, and I know when I get on, if you're not expecting me, it takes a couple minutes for people to get on, but I want to make sure I hit Catherine, and then we're going to jump right back up to Chris and Simone. So Catherine, the card that I have for you is Between Two Worlds. Okay, this is Between Worlds. And so what this means is that you're completing something, you're leaving a situation, something is coming to a natural conclusion about this, and that you're stepping into a new place, you're stepping into a new evolution, which we saw with the regeneration card, but you're stepping into a new chapter, a new evolution. And what I want you to see is that you're coming out of the dark and stepping into the light and the beautiful fluffy clouds and the beautiful glorious color of the flamingo. You are stepping gracefully and elegantly into a new space. This could be a new job, a new relationship, a new house, but you are stepping forward gracefully, and you are stepping in with abundance and blessing. So as things are shutting down for you, I want to encourage you not to resist it. And as it, I don't want to use the word shutting down, but as things are wrapping up, I feel like this wrapping up is going to be done very neatly and with love and courtesy. I feel like it's going to be something that is, if we're allowing it, I feel like if we're resisting it, there can definitely be some tension and some strife about it. So I want to really encourage you to just allow it to come to a natural conclusion. And I also want to understand for you that this conclusion, this chapter that's closing, you've done nothing wrong. This is not something that is this is a natural conclusion. This is a natural ending point, a natural shifting point for you, Catherine. But again, you are going to step forward in grace and in strength and in full glorious color into something that is beautiful and powerful and empowered. And I want to remind you again about letting the universe, getting clear about where you want to go and allowing the universe to work with you so that you're not boxing it in. Okay, I feel like that message is really important for you. So, okay, so we're going to go to Chris and Simone and Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. All right, so we're going to go to Chris. So deep knowing. Chris, this is card 43. So 4 and 3 is 7. This is deep knowing. Okay, so this is about trusting that inner voice, trusting that soul voice, trusting that deep knowing, right? This is the deep knowing. This is really about trusting your guts, trusting your kishkis, right? This is about allowing yourself to lean into what you know to be true deep down inside, and really about putting the blinders on so that you are not being distracted from the direction that you are choosing to go in, right? So allow yourself to really trust in that inner knowing, because you're deep. And the other part about this, Chris, is that your inner knowing has deep ties to Mother Earth, and I feel like they've been unplugged. And so this is the reminder, I feel like, is about plugging yourself back in, tapping back in to that source of knowledge that you have used in the past, but I feel like have come away from. So this is a time about allowing yourself to tap back into a deeper knowing than even where you have lately been. So I want you to reach back into your past and really allow yourself to feel back into what you used, where you used to reside, where there was a stronger connection with trusting the universe in alignment with Mother Earth, and that has just been eroded over time and life stuff. But this is a time now to deep dive back in to connecting yourself into Mother Earth. And so this image I keep getting is of feeling your roots of your legs, your feet grounding down into Mother Earth, so that you're really tapping into that super deep knowing that's in alignment with you and your guts, but that's being fed by a deeper knowing of Mother Earth. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Catherine, you are so welcome. So welcome. Okay, Simone is going to be next, and then we're going to have Bonnie, and then Erin. Nice to see you, Erin. Okay, Simone. All right, Simone. Simone, this is be flexible. Flexibility, flexible. So this is card 19. So 1 and 9 is 10. So something is ending for you as well, Simone. And so this is reminding you that things may not always go the way we imagine, right? We just had talked about this a little bit. So allowing that space for the universe to co-create with you, so that if it doesn't look exactly like what we thought or were expecting, that there will still be something wonderful, and that there will still be there is a higher outcome, a better outcome. So when we ask the universe to help to guide us, we say, this is what I want, this is, or something better. And so this is this reminder for you, Simone, to allow that something better, to allow that when it doesn't look exactly like what you think it should, to take that and open it up and allow that to expand, because it will be something better. So it will be something better. Okay, so we're going to move to Bonnie. All right. So you are welcome, Chris Judd. So welcome. All right. So again, any of the folks, if you are a spammer and you're planning on making a message that says everybody send you a friend request, we ban people here. So if you are have that intention, you might as well just leave now. So okay, so we have Bonnie, and so Bonnie, this card comes in upside down. This is Unfinished Symphony. So this is number 10, and okay. So this is number 10. So this is, even though you've kind of come to the end of this chapter, Bonnie, that there is still still more to be done here. And you can see that there's a little face that's inside in there. There's a little face that's in there. And so it's, because it comes in upside down, it's in protection. It's this reminder not to close the door so fast, not to walk away from where you may feel unfinished. And also it feels like maybe your voice has been stifled in there a little bit, that you haven't been able to say what you really wanted to say. And so I want to point you back to our first card of the Yang. Is that we don't have to bust right in there and start elbowing people out of the way, but this is a reminder to just take a breath, allow things to roll from one chapter to the next. Like I listen to podcasts and love so many different ones, and when one finishes, it'll roll to the next one in the same series. And so this is that kind of imagery of when you finish one, that it'll roll into the next one. And I want to encourage you to just take a breath, because there's more for you to say, but I feel like it wasn't the time for your voice to be heard. But I do feel like you're coming into the space where it's going to be time for your voice to be heard, and that's going to be really important. So this is Unfinished Symphony. So I just want you to understand that even though it feels like this chapter is ending, a new chapter is going to pick up right where this one is leaving off. And so it isn't going to be something that is over and done. That there's still going to be opportunity, a role for you to play, and there's going to be a place for your voice to be heard, Bonnie. Okay. All right. So we're going to do my friend Erin. All right. So we have Erin. This is New Life. This is card 39. So 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. So it really is embarking on a new adventure. Oh, Simone, you are so welcome. I'm so glad that it resonates for you. So Erin, this is a new adventure for you, a new life, new adventure. This is going to be, it could be a new opportunity, a new source of income. It could be a new hobby, a new person in your life, but there's definitely a new adventure coming. There's something in there that is going to shift, your perception of your current reality, something that's going to help to move you forward in a new way. I do feel like there's like a new opportunity. It's a door that opens for you, Aaron. It's a door that opens. I feel like there may be a new relationship that's there. I'm not convinced if it's a pair bond relationship or just a new friendship with somebody or a friendship that goes deeper, but I feel like there's a new opportunity for you to see things in a different way. That's going to give you a new perspective or a different perspective. And this is exciting because you can see the joy and the fireworks and the celebration that's like, yes! And this may also have something to do with David moving forward as well, but there's something that is positive, but it does feel relational, like it's a relationship, and it does feel like maybe somebody new is coming in, somebody new that you meet. Again, I'm unclear if it's a romantic relationship, but I feel like there's a good solid connection, something that is warm and loving that helps to this brings some sort of inner peace about it as well, some kind of compassion that has to do with that as well. So hope that helps to bless you, my friend. Bonnie, you are so welcome, and we're going to pull for Gina. All right, and then it looks like that will probably be the end for us today. I'm so glad that we were able to get on, and I really appreciate your patience today as we dealt with having no electricity and therefore no internet. So I'm so happy for you all to have been able to come and shift into the different time, and hopefully next week we won't have any of those problems. So this is for Gina. This is the card that is why, and I love this card because this is really about getting clear about where you're going, what do you want, this is the time, right? So I feel like you've been chewing on this for a little while, but maybe you haven't quite sat yourself down to really figure out, what do I want? Where am I going? What am I doing? Like what? And so this is a real strong encouragement for you to take some time to do that, to really look at is because if you look at the book, it has wings, and it's, you can, I don't feel like this is the sunset. I feel like it's the sunrise. The light is coming out of the book. This is the time for you for co-creation with the universe. This is the time for you, Gina, to be able to say, this is what I want. But I feel like we've got to get clear, because is it possible that you are wanting something that is what is expected, what others think you should want or have told you you should, the direction you should go in, and is it, to be clear of what it is that's really in your heart, for you to be able to say, this is what I want, not what is expected. And I think that's a really important differentiation. So this time of co-creation with the universe is so much about what is it that we want deep down in our soul. Okay, and so this is that reminder for you to make sure that you're clear about what you want, not necessarily what you think others want you to want. Hopefully that makes sense. Valencia, I'm so sorry. Thank you for speaking up. I'm so sorry to have skipped over you. It was so not intentional. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Valencia, for speaking up so that we can get a card for Miss Valencia. And so we have the card upside down. This is mending. Card 52. 5 and 2 is 7. So kind of we've moved into a new time. Mending. So this is also a time of relationship mending. So this is a time of bridges that have been burned or blocked, that this may be the time, Valencia, to revisit some of those things. Now, here's the thing. We step up to the bridge and we look to see if it's safe for us to cross. This bridge has been damaged. There's been strife. Is it safe for us to cross? Now, you may need to be the first person to wave the white flag and say, I'm willing to cross if you are. But I always want to caution, when we come into relationship mending, I always want to caution, if we're dealing with a narcissist or an energy vampire, there is not mending, okay? There is not mending. So I want you to be very cautious about who it is that you're being called to mend with, because sometimes that mending is with ourself, with our relationship with self. But Valencia, there's definitely, it feels like there is, and also if sister something comes in. I don't know if this is a sister, like an actual sister, or a sister in of the family that we choose. But there's something about this that is a relationship where I feel like, I feel like maybe you were being taken advantage of, and that this is this was some self-preservation. So it's a question of always remembering humans have free will. So this is about mending, and it does feel relational. It does feel feminine to feminine, but at the same time, you may feel like it is in a different place. But wherever it is, and Okay, no, I hear that. Okay, so here's the other piece of that is that while it is mending feminine to feminine, it may also be mending your understanding of the situation. It may be that you have to sit down, maybe you have some guilt or grief or unresolved emotions that are part of this. Yes, that feels more okay, and that really of getting clear in your mind about who and where and how and what you would want to see to go forward. So for myself, I was reminded recently of why a relationship that I was that had for a very, very long time had ended, and it was having those feelings, coming up for me as well to say, oh, well, maybe. And then I was reminded of all the reasons why I had stepped away. And I was like, oh, right, that person's not going to change. So I want to go back and make sure I'm healing myself with myself about what that situation was, to be able to really close the door on it and to be able to let it go. And so for you, it does feel like sisterly, and again, it could really be of our healing ourself about a past relationship or a past situation. So Valencia, I'm going to let you dig into that because I'm not 100% clear. What I am getting is that there's opportunity for healing there, but there's also always in that place of glasses of using discernment and looking carefully and deciding for yourself whether it is worth it for you to mend the relationship with the other, or if the work that needs to be done is on mending that relationship with yourself and what your understanding and resolution of that situation was. Because sometimes we need that reminder of things we've pushed away, and to be able to say, oh, it's time for me to come back to this and really come to grips and come to terms and come to peace about that situation, and to be able to say, okay, I'm good now. I can let this go. I no longer need to have this situation living rent-free in my head. Okay, and I feel like that may be more of where we are with that. So I hope that helps, Valencia. Okay, did I miss anybody else? Okay, good deal. All right. I want to say thank you for your patience, for your understanding, and for those of you that were not able to get, I'm so glad it makes sense to you. Yay! And for those of you who were missed us because we were not on in the right time today, I so apologize, but things I cannot control. And so I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you're getting ready for a wonderful holiday. Again, the Becoming an Empowered Empath online course is still available. And if you would like to book a session, please feel free to let me know. I will still honor that Black Friday discount for that as well. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. I am believing that we are going to be together for meditation on Thursday. I believe that is true. I can't guarantee it. It's crazy this time of year. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't think there's something else that night. So we will hopefully look forward to seeing you all at 7 o'clock on Thursday right back here for meditation. And hopefully we'll have no more issues with electricity. So have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much again for your patience and understanding. And as always, just know how very much you are loved. Mwah. See you later.